If you go look at me and Khamzat, he's 8 wins in the UFC, I'm 9. Just go compare our resumes. It's ridiculous. People see him as a champion, but he is not one. He has it. He has this name and he's not a champion. And that is special. He does not do something that hasn't been seen before. If you look at other fighters, if you look at other guys that do what he does that good. There's been guys that does it exactly the way he does. But I don't think there's been a lot of guys that does it the way I do it.
Dricus Plessis took aim at Khamzat, Chimaev's track record ahead of their UFC 319 clash, making it clear he's not impressed with what his opponent has done so far. Moreover, DDP said his camp for this fight has been close to perfect, with nearly flawless training and preparation. Spending 2 weeks in Chicago, he's adapted to the city and feels in peak condition.
Yeah, absolutely great, man. The preparation couldn't have gone any better. The fight camp was as close to a perfect camp as you could get. And I've been in Chicago now for almost 2 weeks, being here 3 weeks out from the fight, getting comfortable with the city. Sleep is great, everything. It can't be better, man. I'm so ready for this.
Plessis also noted that Chimaev has never shared the cage with him, so there's no real way for him to predict how it will feel. He admitted Chimaev's wrestling is sharp, but stressed that assumptions mean little until the cage door closes.
Yeah, well, I mean, what can you say? I mean, that's it. He hasn't been in there with me, and at the end of the day, he hasn't been on the ground with me either. And he hasn't been in the stand-up exchange with me either. The way he does things is the way that it should be done, 100%. From a wrestling grappling.
DDP further argued that Chimaev's style isn't new, as others have executed it just as well. However, he claimed very few fights with the same unique mix of skills that he brings. While respecting Chimaev's elite grappling, Plessis pointed out that MMA is a completely different game from pure wrestling. Using Rainier de Ridder versus Bone Nickel as an example, he said blending disciplines changes everything.
He does not do something that hasn't been seen before. If you look at other fighters, if you look at other guys that do what he does that good. There's been guys that does it exactly the way he does. But I don't think there's been a lot of guys that does it the way I do it.
Furthermore, DDP reminded everyone that he's the reigning champion and doesn't care about being called the underdog. For him, betting odds are just for gamblers, and all that matters is beating Chimaev.
I do not care. I am the world champion. So the fact that, I'm the underdog, I don't care. That's a gambler's problem. I'm not gambling on this one. So for me, what it means, the only thing I care about is winning this guy. I don't care if it's Khamzat. I don't care if people think I'm going to win. If people thought if I was a minus 400 favorite, it wouldn't mean anything to me either. It doesn't change anything to me. Odds don't make fights, fighters do, and the odds have never dictated how I fight. So that's why, saying that I became everything that people thought Khamzat was going to be, that I agree with that. But that's because I'm built different, and I'm going to show that again come the 16th.
DDP lastly said he always aims to face the toughest opponents and believes he's consistently done so. Comparing resumes, he claimed his 9 UFC wins outshined Chimaev's 8.
I want to fight the best of the best, and that is what I've been doing. If you go look at me and Khamzat, he's 8 wins in the UFC, I'm 9. Just go compare our resumes. It's ridiculous.
However, Jon Jones described the fight as a battle between 2 extremely dangerous men. He appreciated Chimaev calling him the scariest guy in MMA, taking it as a respectful compliment.
Khamzat Chimaev said that you are the scariest guy in MMA.
That's a huge compliment coming from Khamzat. I'm a big fan of Khamzat. I don't think he has any reason to toot my horn or to even be humble. He doesn't have to be. I mean, heavyweights fear him, and the fact that he has so much respect for me really means a lot. It shows me a lot about his character, his humility to be able to compliment someone in such a huge way.
Furthermore, Alexander Volkanovski openly supported Du Plessis, calling the fight exciting and saying he likes unpredictable matchups that test a fighter's adaptability.
And and the main event here of Dricus, Du Plessis, I'm going with the underdog. $2.60 fight here on Sportsbet. Incredible fight this one's going to be. I'm interested to see. Like, again, the thing is, just so you guys know, when I'm wrong, say if the fight goes completely different to what I say, I love that. Remember, I'm going from what I've seen. If they can completely change and show me something I haven't seen, or be, show me something that I wasn't expecting, I love that. Let's see if it happens. That's what's exciting about it. It's exciting even me thinking how it's going to go. That's how I think it's going to be. That excites me. If they are able to change it up and do different things, yes.
Volkanovski is curious whether Chimaev will change his game plan, perhaps leaning more on striking to conserve energy. He wonders if Khamzat can stick to it or revert to his usual style under pressure.
Let's see what they do. Let's see if Chimaev changes his game a little bit. Let's see if he goes a Khabib route, what he said. Focus more on the striking so he doesn't gas too early. Or does he go powerhouse and come in aggressive? Let me know what you guys think is going to be his strategy. Can he change it? Or if his game plan is to change it, can his instincts let him do that?
Du Plessis predicted the first round will be full of action, with both coming forward aggressively. He won't focus on only stopping takedowns, but will try to push the pace early.
Like absolute chaos. If you look at my thoughts, it's going to be absolute chaos. I just think, I don't see him coming in with a different game plan, and me neither. I'm going out there to attack. I'm going there to kill him. I'm not going out there to defend Khamzat's takedowns. I'm not going out there to defend. I'm going there to attack. So I think it's going to look a little bit different.
DDP further pointed to Gilbert Burns' offense and Kamaru Usman's defensive wrestling as blueprints for troubling Chimaev. Staying busy and attacking, he said, is the key.
I mean, if you look at the Gilbert Burns fight and the success he had with Khamzat, that's a very, very good. Even with the Usman fight, Usman was, people don't just go and defend against him. He was forced. Usman was forced to defend, and he did a great job. And then he started with his offensive wrestling and showing Khamzat that he's not the only one who can wrestle in there. I think that was a big key in that fight, which made it a very close fight. And then Gilbert Burns being an absolute animal, also not being scared of Khamzat wrestling and going for it, attacking. This game doesn't work by defense. You don't win fights by defending. You win fights by attacking.
Lastly, Du Plessis reminded fans that his grappling is underrated because it's rarely showcased. Against Robert Whittaker, he reversed a takedown and nearly finished with elbows and a choke.
Do you think people are underestimating your grappling?
Absolutely. I think I just don't think people have seen a lot of it, so it changes the game. I think if Khamzat mentioned it, he said Robert Whittaker took me down. He did. He got a good time takedown. I got up very easily. When Rob took me down, I got up with no problems, took him down, and I dominated him on the floor in a way where I was landing. I cut him. I was landing massive elbows. The threat of the choke was there the whole time, and the round ended. And I'm sure if that round didn't end at that stage, it would have been the end of the fight right there. But yeah, I mean, I guess people haven't seen too much of my grappling and wrestling that much, but at the end of the day, I'm a complete MMA fighter, and that's why I'm the best in the world. I can strike with anyone, I can grapple with anyone, I can wrestle with anyone, but when it comes to putting it all together, I'm the best in the world.
However, Anthony Hernandez predicted Du Plessis would win due to his durability and stamina. He believes Chimaev hasn't faced enough true middleweights to prepare for this.
Middleweight title on the line between Dricus and Khamzat. How do you see it playing out?
I think Dricus is going to get him, dude. He's a tough son of a bitch, you know what I mean? And he doesn't gas out. And then, like I've said with Khamzat, I've never seen him fight like a legit 185. I mean, Whittaker, yeah. But besides that, everyone else is 155ers coming up and so I really want to see him with an actual test, you know what I mean?
Moreover, Du Plessis' coach revealed they won't shy away from Chimaev's wrestling and plan to beat him there. He called Chimaev's striking subpar and said Dricus will be the real danger in the cage.
We don't want to try to get away from his wrestling. We want to pick him up in his game. That guy's one-dimensional. We've seen his stand-up. I won't even give him a pro license for his stand stand up. It doesn't present any problem for us. We are the problem.
That's it for today's video. So what are your thoughts on this? Share your thoughts in the comment section and make sure to subscribe and like if you enjoyed the video.